I'm on a mission to review and rank every single episode of Star Wars: The Clone Wars, and I'm not stopping until it is done. I'm of course talking about the critically acclaimed 3D computer animated Star Wars anthology series that first aired in 2008 and ended in 2020. Not to be confused with Star Wars Clone Wars, the 2D animated micro series that was released in 2003. I'm watching and reviewing every single episode in the official release order to keep things simple and ranking each episode as I go along. When all is said and done, I'll have a complete and comprehensive ranking of every episode from the entire series. So to make sure you don't miss a single episode, like this video and subscribe to the channel to ensure you stay on this journey with me. There will be spoilers for today's featured episode, so viewers beware. Now, on to today's episode. Today we are looking at episode 11 from season 3 titled Pursuit of Peace. After a separatist attack on Coruscant destroys any hope of developing peace talks, the Senate pushes a bill to order an additional 5 million clone troopers to be created for the Republic, a decision that will send the Republic into unfixable debt. Knowing this, Padme Amidala and Bail Organa fight against the decision, trying their best to convince their fellow senators to vote against the bill, which proves difficult when Count Dooku hires bounty hunters to intimidate senators to vote for the bill to prolong the war. The bounty hunters even try to kill Padme, but luckily she escapes. After Bail Organa gathers the facts surrounding the damage the bill would cause to the Republic and Padme learns about how the war is affecting her own handmaiden, the two gather enough talking points to present their fully formed argument to the Senate. But after Bail Organa is attacked by the bounty hunters on his way to the Senate, he is injured and unable to present his speech even though the bounty hunters are arrested. Padme is forced to step up and give the speech, using the story of her handmaiden's everyday struggle as a result of the ongoing war. After appealing to the empathy of the Senate, Padme stops the creation of more clones and brings the end of the war closer to reality. Pursuit of Peace is a rarity for me because it's a politics-heavy episode that doesn't benefit from the presence of Jedi or any major action sequences, that instead manages to sustain itself through its compelling insight into the effects of the war, which is saying a lot considering that this episode is basically the Republic arguing over whether or not they should take out a loan. Honestly, the argument shouldn't even be given a whole episode considering that the banking clan offers the Republic an interest rate of 25%. You would have to be an idiot to take on a loan with that rate. I'm no financial advisor, but even I know that's an awful deal. Where this episode really shines is in its exploration of Padme as a senator. Padme is clearly growing tired of the war and is questioning whether or not she is even making a difference. She tries to do the right thing, and yet every time she starts to make waves within the Senate, someone comes along and undoes all of it. She has to fight political intimidation, a chancellor that has ultimately rigged the entire game, and warmongers who would hate nothing more than seeing the end of the Clone Wars. Padme's resolve is shaken in this episode and is only restored after her handmaiden reminds her that people look to her for guidance and support. Padme isn't fighting for herself, she is fighting for the people. After she is reminded of that, she gets a second wind. I love that Padme takes the time to sit down and ask her handmaiden how the war is affecting her and her family in a scene that reminds us that this war is much bigger than the clones and droids on the front lines. Everyday people also suffer because of it. To then see Padme use this reminder as the core argument in her speech to the Senate ultimately sells the episode's entire point. When you wage war, no one side ever truly wins, at least not without great suffering. Seeing Dooku's intimidation tactics on display here is also interesting. It's funny that he hires the sloppiest bounty hunters ever, almost as if so people would never assume that the great Count Dooku would ever work with such bums. I also really like the chase that they have with Padme in the middle of the episode. The wider discussions about the ongoing cost of the war here are also compelling. This whole idea of needing troops to fight the war, yet also trying not to escalate things any further, is an interesting point that is rarely brought up within the franchise, and I like seeing Padme trying to end the war with discussion instead of blasters. We also get a small but very cool scene with Palpatine talking openly with his right-hand man Mas Amida about his grand scheme, which I greatly appreciate. Pursuit of Peace proves that the politics of Star Wars can be interesting enough to sustain an entire episode of Clone Wars if done correctly. The exploration of trying to continue to fight the Clone Wars without escalating them with more troops is interesting, and Padme's efforts to bring the war to a quicker end is a compelling watch. The intimidation carried out by the bounty hunters is fun, Padme's discussion with her handmaiden is insightful, and overall the episode's suggestion to take a moment to stop and truly think about the cost of the war is much appreciated. And that was Pursuit of Peace. Ranking it against every other episode of Clone Wars I've reviewed so far, it currently sits at number 47. Will it hold this place? Only time will tell. And here is the complete ranking so far. That's me finished for this episode. Now, I want to hear from all of you. What's your personal review of this episode? Where would you rank it among every other episode of Clone Wars? Let me know in the comments below after you've liked the video and subscribed. I'll see you guys next time with another Clone Wars episode review and ranking. Until then, thank you for watching. As always, look after yourselves, stay safe, and I'll see you all in the next video.